wonder why women go to the ladies' room in groups or pairs? That's because the ladies' room is where women feel safe enough to be vulnerable with each other. That's where we go to offer guidance and support. The ladies' room is where women go to strategize and organize to take over the world. I'm Roxann Smithers, and I want to welcome you to the ladies' room.
Where do women go for honesty, strategy, guidance, and inspiration? Welcome to the ladies' room. Hosted by Roxann Smithers.
So today's episode, we're going to be talking about pricing. There's a biblical proverb that says a virtuous woman's price is far above rubies. So we're going to be talking about our pricing. How do we decide what to charge for our services and for our goods? And also, how do we negotiate salaries? So I'm so excited. I've got a wonderful panel today of powerful women, and we're going to get into this topic here in the ladies' room. So first, I want to welcome Danielle Edwards. She's a health and wellness professional with Avalon Wellness. I want to welcome Tiffany C. Wright, a business management consultant and founder of The Resource CEO. And I want to welcome Sabrina Lowry, founder and chief technology officer for Sabrina Lowry Industries. Ladies, thank you so much for coming today into the ladies' room, into the executive lounge to talk about pricing. How's everybody doing? Good.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. So we really want to dig in and get to this topic because it is definitely one that really challenges both women as entrepreneurs and business owners, but also women as executives in the workplace. We know the statistics, right, on what a woman makes versus a man to the dollar and what Black women make to a white man to the dollar. So we really want to dig into that and see what's the psychology behind where do we go with our pricing? Do we understand that our value is far above rubies? All right. So in that vein, if we're looking to build these lifelong relationships, or at least, relationships for a good season with a customer or a client, how you handle it when there's that customer or the client, there's always a couple that are looking for the deal, want to push back on your pricing. What's your approach to that? Tiffany, I'll start with you.
Well, I actually just came up with a nice new phrase. Maybe we're not a good fit.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yes.
That covers a multitude of situations.
It does. I've just really started to use that. I would go back and forth, but then I would say, this is, go ahead and try someone else. I wish you the best. But now I think, now I say, just may not, we just are not a good fit.
That's right.
And I found that causes people to pause and go,
wait, she's not pressuring?
Right.
Am I missing out?
Right. And then they start to try to convince you a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I like that one. That's a new one for me, but yes, that's hey, you can learn things at any time, right?
Right.
It's actually one of my clients who told me that. He said he started to use it because someone did it to him and he felt like, what?
It is a real power move.
It is.
You sort of change the power dynamic of the situation.
It is.
And you also make it clear that, look, I got a great line from one of my former assistants where she said, I have to work, but I don't have to work here.
Right.
That is a powerful mentality. And so to take that to that relationship, I have to have clients. I have to, sell this business or sell this service.
Right.
But I don't necessarily have to sell it to you.
That's right. For sure. That's right.
Powerful.
That is.
So Sabrina, what do you do when if you're getting pushback either on a salary demand that you're making?
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Shocking.
It is unbelievable. So I'll give you a real life example. So we belong to a mutual organization together that we've worked with. Mm-hmm. And so they hired me contractually to run a project for a website to deploy. Right. So let's just say the team that was in place had been on the project for 10 months. Okay. My contract proposal was I would have it done in 90 days or less.
Wow.
and my fee was not cheap. So when the proposal went in, I already knew I had to come in playing the cleaner. To your point, right? Am I coming in with strategy and product and service and me? Because they want the energy.
Right.
Okay, right? They're buying into all of that.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, who am I going to go work with every day for the next 90 days?
Right.
So I get a counter offer back. And of course, the rate was lower, but in the respect of the relationship, and I'm part of the organization, and I want to maintain that, and let's go from here, I said yes. Well, Roxann,
No good deed goes unpunished.
I, in the afterthought, just simply felt like this is what you get for not staying true to you.
Right.
When you go in as the cleaner, you know that value goes up when there is a problem, right? To save face. So that happened. And it went straight to the CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who had my back? The CEO. Yes, I was so thankful. It was just unbelievable. So the entire team had my back on that call. And so it was nothing for them to extend my contract, pay me the rate for the extended time. But did we launch? Yes, we did.
Right. She's the chief technology.
The chief technology. And then I was the cleaner. I took so much, I took bullying as part of that project from male counterparts because, oh, Sabrina will do it. I felt like clutch my pearls.
Well, that's another factor. That's another factor of pricing. I don't know what you guys do. You know, sometimes you see a situation coming. And you're like, okay, I'm willing to work on this. But I can tell you're going to tax me. You're going to tax my spirit, my hopes, and my dreams.
That's what I'm saying.
And I need to charge a premium for the taxing
For
of my
that.
spirit, my hopes, and my dreams.
Yes.
So, Danny, if
I'm
you're
so glad
getting
that's
pushback, if you're getting pushback, what's sort of your response?
So everybody has touched on all the points. Definitely, it's not worth it all the time, and you have to let them know it's not going to work out. Definitely, when you see it coming, you want to deal, and now it's a headache. For me personally, I stand firm on my price, and all money isn't good money. And if you're going to me, it's petty. It's petty. If you care about your health and health, you're not going to negotiate when you go to Neiman's about a price. It's true. You're not going to negotiate when you go buy groceries at the grocery store. You know what I mean?
Right.
So why are you negotiating about your health? That's the most valuable thing that you have. That's what I spend the most money on is my internal me, my well-being. No. And I'm just like, no. And it makes me put a hard no to it just because I'm offended by your nonsense that you don't see that you are the most valuable thing and you should put the most money into this. Forget everything else around you because if this isn't right, nothing else is going to be all right.
Right.
I like that pivot. That's another smart pivot where you make it clear to them that your price and working with you is an example of their priorities.
Right.
This is a priority for you. This is what my price is, and this is what it's going to take.
Yeah.
Right.
And for people who it's not a priority, they don't like it because it really reveals this isn't important to you. You're going to get on my nerves. You're not going to do the things you're supposed to do, and you're going to make it a my problem when it's really, again, your issue.
That's right.
So saying all of that, it taps on everything y'all just said.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to say, no, this doesn't work. But this isn't a good fit.
What about the boomerangs? Do you have those times where they go, oh, this is too rich for my blood, I can't do it? And it's usually after they pounded you down to connect with you. Right. And maybe they tried to get a little free advice.
Right. Oh, always.
And they gassed you up like, oh my gosh, it's so great. And then you tell them the price, and then they're like, well, let me. They all of a sudden become an expert in your area.
Oh, right.
But have you had the boomerang? Have you had somebody come back to you?
I have. Absolutely.
And say, well, what happened was, can we work together?
That's right. All
What's
the
that
time.
approach?
Yeah. So that happens, and especially for me, and it's amazing because I even know that it's more women than the men that will boomerang back to me. I almost feel like it's a trust factor, right? Does she really know what she... yes, I really know what I'm doing, that kind of thing, right? So once they kind of see the consistency in me and how I've helped others, that's where those testimonials come in, right? Then it was like, I saved your number because I knew I was going to want to work with you. And here's my issue. Can you help?
Right.
Here's my rate. I'll wait on that payment. And then you can book your call.
They do often have amnesia about what your rate was the first time.
Oh, of course
I think they
do.
come back with their fingers crossed of maybe you'll forget what you offered.
No.
But I'm a digital pack rat, so I go back into the emails and I go, no. And if it's been long enough, I'm like, well, the rates have gone up. I've had people come back years later and thinking they were going to get the rate with me my first year running our law firm to 7-8 years later. I'm like, inflation, baby.
No, and I got one even better. So when she talked about seeing a quote and a meme, yesterday's prices are not today's prices. And I love that. I was like, yeah, I want a big board on the back of my Zoom that says that.
That's what you're...
So when you call me tomorrow, what that rate was today that you did not buy in on, it's not going to be tomorrow. Not guaranteed.
So, Danny, do you take boomerangs?
Oh no, I take boomerangs for sure. Oh, I take them and I'm like, yeah, and I point out during that time frame that they have gone on that journey back. So you've been doing what? You've been in this amount of time, and I start saying times of how long it takes to get results and this and that. And just pointing out things like you've wasted time, not only mine, but yours. You wasted your time because you could have made this decision 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Like you knew your back was hurting and you needed to do X, Y, Z to correct that. But instead you went to the chiropractor. Instead you went to massage enemy. Instead you did all of these random things, which are great, but it wasn't what you really needed to do to get to solving the problems and the things that you really need to do. And I take them on with the same price or higher.
Yeah. There's a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
Tiffany, what about boomerangs for you? It depends. Typically with the CXO services, yes, because that's pretty straightforward. I'm going to offer you, we're going to do this, and these are the deliverables. On the operational or restructuring side, it depends, and I have actually taken them on, but usually when someone else has gotten involved, like an investor or a banker, because it's mindset. So it's go in and restructure a company and have them become profitable and have their cash flow jump and all of that. You need to have someone who's really, truly committed. And if they've come back to me because they understand that they'll get better results, I still don't feel like they're truly committed. But if there's an investor with their foot up behind or a banker, then they're definitely committed. And I have someone else who can kind of push the owner aside, because when I'm doing that, the owner willingly steps aside. But if someone is coming back to me, sometimes they're still not willing to step aside. They just believe that I'll deliver good results, but in order to deliver the kind of results that I deliver, I need them to be fully on board. But yeah, on the CFO side, all day long, if they come back, right? Or the CEO, yeah, they come back, sure, because it's a mindset switch. Well, so what happens is they actually change their mindset. Some people it takes a month, some people it takes a few years, but they change their mindset. And you want to work with the people who have the same kind of mindset and of values that you value, because then it makes it easier. Because like I tell my clients, if someone is paying you, let's just say $300, but it takes you 4 times as much effort to deliver the same thing as it takes to deliver it for someone else, then they're not worth it. Right. They're not worth it. And we have to think about those kinds of things. And so I want clients who want to be with me, not ones that I have to force them to do things. Yeah, for sure, dear. I'm sure there was a time when you didn't really understand your value or have that confidence. Let's talk a little bit about what did it take for you to get where you are now in terms of that mindset and that confidence.
You've got a marketing budget. You've got your operational budget, I need for entrepreneurs to have a coaching budget.
People will work you if you let them work. That's right.
Yes.
And you're the only one running in circles, and they're not even thinking about it. They're like, oh,
Right.
can you do some complimentary massages at this place? Can you do some coaching? And you're doing all this, and you're passing out cards. These people are just coming to whatever event they're coming to. They're not even thinking about being your customer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I want to make sure that people know how to find you and pay you. Okay. So Sabrina, tell the folks where they can find you.
Oh, absolutely. It is SabrinaLowry.com, and it is all things Sabrina Lowry, all social. You can Google me, baby.
You can find me at awi.life for Avalon Wellness for my health and wellness business. You can find me at Tab Greens CS for my commercial cleaning business.
And Tiffany, where can the folks find you?
People can find me at thereresourcefulceo.com. The Resourceful CEO or Resourceful CEO is where you can find me. And Tiffany C. Wright. You can also Google me, but you must keep the C in there or else you'll get all kinds of stuff. I'll be on page 50.
Well, and hopefully, ladies, I will see you again in the ladies' room. So for today's session, I want to thank the Art Institute of Atlanta, the staff, the administrators, as well as the students for giving us this wonderful space to chit-chat and create our executive room. And I also want to thank Habari Financial Network as being part of the ladies' room. We want to thank you, and we'll see you again in the ladies' room.